Kody and Robyn's love story gets a rewrite. Well, folks, it's official. Sister Wives is winding down. As we approach the end of this long, emotionally charged reality TV journey, we're entering what I like to call pilot season. That's right, the Brown family saga appears to be getting a soft reboot. And who are the stars? None other than Kody and Robyn Brown. Yes, the pair often painted as the most controversial figures in the family's story are now presenting themselves as misunderstood soulmates, star-crossed lovers united by fate. According to their latest narrative, they tried to resist. They only wanted what was best for the family. But love, apparently, found a way. Now hold on. Are we really supposed to believe that 3 marriages just happened to collapse by accident? This narrative feels less like a heartfelt romance and more like a scripted drama. Fans have seen this coming since Season 1, Episode 2. The chemistry, the shared glances, the inside jokes, it all felt different from the beginning. Let's not forget how, back then, they insisted nothing special was going on. They were just following courtship rules. Meanwhile, Christine, Mary, and Janelle were often framed as being insecure, jealous, or unfair. Turns out they actually saw the situation clearly. They understood what was happening. They just weren't benefiting from it. So now, after years of denying it, Kody and Robyn want us to embrace this as a love that couldn't be helped. And we're the problem if we're still talking about the past. That's a tough sell. It's not just about how it ended up. It's about how we all got here. It's about the emotional toll along the way. Let's be real. The original 3 wives weren't bitter or cold. They were in a constantly shifting situation where the rules changed and the priorities moved, usually in Robyn's direction. Meanwhile, Kody often appeared to switch roles as needed, supportive partner, distant father, impartial leader, depending on the scene. This kind of emotional storytelling only works when the audience feels like they're watching something genuine. But if you spend 18 seasons building one narrative and then flip the script in the finale, it doesn't feel like a twist. It feels like a bait and switch. And now they want us to tune in to their new chapter. A romantic spin-off where all the past heard is just background noise. Sorry, but that's asking a lot. Viewers didn't just watch this show. We lived it, week after week. We debated, empathized, and even gave Kody the benefit of the doubt more than once. To now be told, forget all that, this is the real love story, doesn't sit right. It's not the relationship that bothers people, it's the way it was handled, and the way the others were treated in the process. This isn't just about Robyn finding her soulmate. It's about years of shifting narratives, emotional strain, and the feeling that the rest of the family, and the audience, were just extras in someone else's love story. Now Kody and Robyn are stepping into their "we made it" era. They want to go from being spiritual pioneers to monogamous leads. But before we sign up for their next act, let's not forget what came before. The real issue isn't their relationship, it's the emotional debris they left behind. So what do you think? Are Kody and Robyn truly star-crossed lovers, or are they rewriting history to fit a new storyline? Drop your thoughts in the comments or leave a message at SpeakPipe link. I'll be featuring your responses in a special Thursday night episode. Until then, this has been my Sister Wives in UAV's update. I'm James, or Revisionist History. Kody and Robyn's retelling raises eyebrows. For over a decade, viewers tuned into Sister Wives not just for the drama, but for the deeply human stories woven into the fabric of plural marriage. From financial struggles to emotional breakdowns, fans witnessed the triumphs and fractures of a complex family built on faith, tradition, and the promise of unity. But now, as the dust settles and the show enters what many believe is its final chapter, Kody and Robyn Brown are reframing the narrative. In interviews, confessionals, and not-so-subtle social media posts, the couple has begun presenting their story not as a subplot of spiritual conviction, but as a tale of fated love. A love that, according to them, couldn't be helped. Cue the collective eyebrow raise. Because if you've watched Sister Wives from the beginning, you already know that this soulmate storyline didn't just magically appear in season 19. It's been simmering since Robyn first arrived in season 1, introduced not just as a potential wife, but as a disruption. A beautiful, teary-eyed symbol of change. From the first fluttery glances between her and Kody to the dramatic restructuring of the Brown household, Robyn's entrance felt like a seismic shift, and fans felt it too. Early tension, early signs. Back in those early episodes, when Kody drove long hours just to court Robyn, when he kissed her before marriage, breaking their own stated rules, it was clear something different was happening. The other wives noticed. So did the viewers. Christine expressed concern. Janelle grew quiet. Mary, Kody's first wife, who had once been a staunch supporter of polygamy, looked lost in a new emotional wilderness. But every time someone voiced discomfort, the response was the same. It's courtship, not favoritism. It's about spiritual growth, not romance. It wasn't love, it was principle. But now, nearly 2 decades in, Kody and Robyn are openly calling each other soulmates, describing their bond as magnetic and unavoidable, even suggesting they tried not to fall in love too fast, despite the mountain of evidence that their connection was strong from the beginning. When a love story erases others, let's be clear, no one is begrudging them happiness. The problem isn't that Kody and Robyn love each other. It's how their version of that love is now being framed. For years, Christine, Janelle, and Mary were painted as the unstable ones. The insecure wives. The bitter women who just couldn't handle plural marriage. When they expressed sadness or frustration, they were met with lectures, not compassion. Yet in hindsight, we see that what they were experiencing wasn't jealousy, it was clarity. They weren't struggling with a principle. They were watching the rules change in real time. In this rewritten narrative, Robyn is presented not just as Kody's wife, but as his destiny. The great love he was always meant to find. The implication? That everything before her was something he endured or misunderstood. It reframes the other relationships not as foundational to the family, but as stepping stones toward his true match. That hurts, and not just for the women who shared their lives on national television. It hurts the audience too. A decade of devotion from viewers. Because Sister Wives wasn't just a reality show, it was an emotional investment. Fans laughed with these women, cried with them, and watched their children grow up. They watched Christine fight to reclaim her voice. They saw Janelle balance independence and tradition. They witnessed Mary's painful journey of hope, loss, and eventual detachment. To now hear that none of it was real love, that it was always about Robyn, that doesn't just rewrite the past, it dismisses it. It tells the audience, you are watching the wrong story. That's not just revisionist, it's reductive. A love story or a PR campaign? The shift toward this soulmate storyline doesn't seem accidental. It feels produced. Maybe even strategic. With the original marriages dissolved and public opinion increasingly skeptical, Kody and Robyn are repositioning themselves not as villains, but as misunderstood romantics. We were trying to do the right thing, Kody said recently in a confessional. We weren't trying to hurt anyone. It just happened. Robyn echoed the sentiment, wiping away tears. I never wanted to be the reason for anyone's pain. But intent doesn't erase impact. And soft lighting, tearful music and denim-on-denim confessionals can't patch over a decade of contradictions. For many viewers, this feels less like honesty and more like damage control. Because if the story now is that true love couldn't be denied, then what were we watching for 18 seasons? Were the struggles, the therapy sessions, the deep philosophical discussions just filler for the romance that was playing the plan all along? Why deny it for so long? Christine, Janelle, and Mary. The unacknowledged cost. Let's not forget the cost of this journey. Christine didn't leave on a whim. She left because she spent years feeling unloved, undervalued, and unheard. Janelle's steady strength was often taken for granted, and her voice became louder only when silence no longer served her. Mary, who gave decades of loyalty to a relationship that no longer wanted her, walked away with more grace than she was ever shown. And through all of this, Robyn remained the protected figure. The wife whose feelings were constantly considered. The one whose needs were prioritized. Now that the dust has settled, Kody and Robyn are stepping forward with a clean, curated version of events. But there's a deep irony in presenting their love as inevitable when, for so long, they told everyone it wasn't even happening. Why the rewrite matters. At its core, this isn't just about a relationship. It's about honesty. It's about emotional truth. It's about trust. Reality TV thrives when viewers believe in the authenticity of what they're watching. That belief doesn't come from perfection. It comes from vulnerability, from truth-telling, from people owning their stories, even when those stories are messy. What Kody and Robyn are doing now isn't necessarily dishonest, but it's selective. It's a narrative that glosses over pain, edits out contradictions, and asks the audience to cheer for an ending that required so many others to be sidelined. That's a hard ask. And while it's entirely fair for them to share their version of events, it's also fair for fans to question it, to challenge it, to ask, is this really a love story, or is this a rewrite? Because love doesn't need a new script. Love shows up, even when it's inconvenient. It communicates, even when it's uncomfortable. And it tells the truth, even when it's hard. So where do we go from here? If Kody and Robyn are heading into a new chapter, a potential spin-off, a memoir, or just a cleaner image, they'd do well to remember that real love stories don't erase others to exist. They build on truth. They acknowledge harm. They leave space for healing. The audience that watched for 19 seasons isn't bitter. They are discerning. They know when something feels authentic and when it feels edited for effect. And right now, the general reaction seems to be, we're not buying the rewrite. Still, if Kody and Robyn are genuinely in love, then good for them. But that love shouldn't require the erasure of other women's pain, or the retelling of history in a way that fits a neater, more flattering version of events. In the end, we don't need a fairy tale. We just want the truth. Hot topic you'll want to discuss over here on my channel, please, by all means. Let me know in the comments below, or you can email me. My email is always open to suggestions, hot topic discussions. All the things my email is linked in the description below every video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and hit that notification bell. Besides subscribe, make sure it's set to all so you'll be notified whenever I upload. I love you for watching. I'll see you in my next video or in the comments below.